My name is Mike Dillard.
My name is Lynn Lawler.
What I do for a living is I teach animation, and I actually work on animations here and there. I do side jobs, I do graphic design work, I do logo work, I do small video animations, and I basically, do shows, events, and cartoon portraits.
My attachment with cartoons would have come when I was a young kid, watching TV, and then obviously I've had children who are now grown, but whenever they were going through, we watched cartoons with them, and so I've seen them 2 times.
As a little kid, I loved cartoons my entire life, and from there, from my love of watching Saturday morning cartoons, I went to college. I went to SCAD for 2 years and then transferred to the Art Institute of Atlanta and graduated in 2006 with a BA in Media Arts and Animation, and then from there, I just started doing side jobs of working with studios in California, and from there I decided to start teaching.
There were cartoons then. So the type of cartoons that I would have watched are the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. There were Merry Melodies, but I didn't particularly like those. Wile E. Coyote was probably Hanna-Barbera. I'm not sure. But anyway, so those kinds of cartoons that were around then.
Which cartoons I prefer? The old cartoons, they have inspiration of how to, really animate stuff. So they teach a lot of lessons. The new cartoons, it's a lot of trying to figure out a new style, a new look, new ways to do I guess certain animations and certain styles and certain looks. I guess I would prefer the older cartoons. That's pretty much what I grew up with, and that's what inspired me to get into cartooning and animation.
Scooby-Doo is more my son's favorite. My favorite would have been more like Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, that kind of stuff. My son likes Scooby-Doo, and he likes just about every one of them. I mean, he's got it on TV, or we stream it or whatever, but he's like 24 now, so he doesn't watch them very often, but that was his favorite. He loved Scooby-Doo.
I think animation has come a long way, and it still has a long way to go with the new additions of new media like digital, CG, and the latest was Into the Spider-Verse, which combined a lot of new forms, 2D and 3D together in a new inventive way. And then you have the additions of stop motion also, which is adding another atmosphere or another layer of new ways to animate.
The differences between cartoons between then and now, I don't know very much about the cartoons now, because obviously my kids are grown and we don't sit around and watch cartoons. But I think like the Powderpuff Girls are more recent, and in that line of things, when I was watching cartoons, they were just funny. I mean, it was just slapstick. Wile E. Coyote gets crushed every time he tries to get the Roadrunner and that sort of stuff. So, and now it's more like fighting evil and that sort of stuff. So,
a life lesson learned from a cartoon. I guess it's how you treat your friends, how to hang out with people if you're odd or if you're weird, how to actually fit in, and you can find common ground, you find common interests. So it starts out with, I guess the cartoon itself as a whole would bring people together. So if you like regular show or Adventure Time, or you like Steven Universe, you find that other person that likes it too.
I mean, I didn't see him as violent. I mean, I'm sure that other people might have seen him as violent. I mean, all my friends, the kids I knew, all were watching the same thing. So it's, and I don't think everything is fair in the world. So if one person always wins, well, that's okay. I think we've gotten to be so concerned about fairness and kindness and all of those sorts of things, and all those are good traits. I'm not saying that those aren't, but, it's a cartoon. I wouldn't worry too much about cartoons being violent.
Storytelling now, I think we have new realms. We have new, fresh stories that can be told. It's just, I would say that the studios, the big studios, really aren't going out there to look for those. It's sort of your Netflix, your independents, your Hulus are really telling some great independent new stories.
My son likes theater, and he has been in a lot of plays, and a lot of the plays are based on, well, like Madagascar, like Sleeping Beauty, like Alice in Wonderland. So he probably likes them more than I would have liked them as a kid, because he actually can. I mean, we've got CDs of all the theater he was in, so he watches those over again too. So I think he's probably more influenced by it than I was.
I like the cartoons now. They're doing new things. Right now we're in a pendulum of, it goes in styles and it goes in stories. So you might have one era that has a whole bunch of dinosaurs, and you have a whole lot of sci-fi cartoons. Right now we have a whole lot of fun, cutesy, new ways of animating. It's sort of going back to the simplistic style. But now, yeah, I think we have new grounds.
I'm sure it's more digital now. And then it was actually screenshots. That's the only way I can say it. Put together so that they moved.
What I think has changed the most is, I guess, character designing. It's gotten new and inventive ways. It's taken more of your urban, your street look, and bringing that to the fold. It's broadened the horizons of what it can look like and what it can be.
Well, I know it was the easiest time in my life that I'll ever have, because you came home from school, mom had a snack ready for you, you sat down and you watched cartoons, and then you went out and played. So as far as particularly caring about one or the other, I don't really have an episode that sticks out in my mind. Although I will say that another funny one was Foghorn Leghorn, and then Chicken Hawk, because the Chicken Hawk was this big and he was this big. So that was pretty funny too.
The content, it's up and down. I wouldn't say it's really gotten better or worse. It's just now you have more cartoons for a wider audience. The biggest difference from cartoons from now to then, I would say the way it's done, the process. Because now you can actually not use a whole lot of paper. So we're not killing trees and stuff like that.
If you're looking at the same features for several of them, then obviously it's easier because you've already got a drawing or an idea of what you want to do. And then I would think that the reason why, and then obviously they had to put in some variation, or it would have started looking too much like each other. So they had to have some variation in there too.
Back then, they didn't really value it as much. They thought it was, a kid form, something for, child. But now you started getting more adults into the fold. So that's where you have a lot more cartoons with tougher subject matter, more adult, more mature subject matter.